Have you ever heard the words let go and felt both hope and panic at the same time? Have you ever wondered whether letting go means giving up? Or whether it is the only way your life can finally breathe again? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about letting go in a way that is not fluffy, not passive, and not a denial of real problems. Because many people think letting go is a kind of spiritual shortcut that promises everything will magically work out. And other people fear letting go because they think it means surrendering their dreams, tolerating mistreatment, or losing the ability to protect themselves. Both misunderstandings create suffering. Two truths will guide this entire conversation. First, letting go is not about dropping responsibility. It is about dropping the inner grip that turns your mind into a battlefield. Second, everything being okay does not always mean everything looks the way you planned. It means you become okay within yourself, so life can move without breaking you, and your actions become wise instead of desperate. Let me begin with a story, because letting go is not a concept you memorize. It is something you face when you are at the edge of your own entrance. Imagine someone named Daniel. Daniel is carrying too much work pressure, family expectation, relationship tension, a worry about the future that never fully leaves the background. He wakes up tired, even after sleeping. He tries to relax, but his mind will not cooperate. He tries to be positive, but it feels fake. He tries to do the right thing, but nothing feels enough. One night, Daniel sits alone and whispers a question that sounds simple but holds years of exhaustion. If I let go, will everything be okay? He is not asking about some abstract philosophy. He is asking whether he will fall apart if he stops gripping, whether life will punish him if he stops controlling, whether he will be abandoned if he stops chasing, whether he will lose everything if he stops clinging. This question is more common than people admit, because most people live as if their grip is the only thing holding reality together. Now let us slow down and ask what letting go actually means, because this is where confusion begins. Many people think letting go means you stop caring, that you become indifferent, that you do not love, that you do not dream, that you do not work, that you accept anything that happens and call it spirituality. That is not letting go. That is resignation. Letting go also does not mean you stop taking action. It means you stop taking action from fear. Letting go is the release of inner resistance. It is the release of compulsive mental noise. It is the release of the ego need to control outcomes so you can feel safe. It is the release of the belief that you must force life to behave according to your anxiety. Letting go is not weakness. It is intelligence. Because the truth is, the more you cling, the more you suffer, even when the outside is not changing. And the less you cling, the more clearly you can see what to do next. Daniel does not understand this yet. He thinks his grip is responsibility. He thinks if he relaxes, everything will collapse. So he tests it in small ways. Because big words do not change a nervous system. Practice changes a nervous system. The next morning, Daniel feels the familiar stress. The mind starts listing tasks. The mind starts predicting disasters. The mind starts rehearsing arguments. The body tightens. Daniel tries something simple. He sits still for 2 minutes and watches the breath. He does not force calm. He simply watches. He notices the tension. He notices thoughts like I cannot handle this. He notices the urge to check messages. He notices the fear that something bad will happen if he is not vigilant. Then he asks a new question. Is my vigilance actually improving the situation? Or is it just torturing me? This is a turning point. Because many people confuse anxiety with responsibility. They think worrying is caring. They think tension is effort. They think rumination is problem solving. But often it is not. Often it is just the mind chewing on fear. So Daniel experiments. He chooses to do the next task without gripping internally. He still acts. He still answers emails. He still makes calls. He still shows up. But he tries to do it with a softer inner posture. He notices something surprising. He does not become lazy. He becomes more efficient because fear wastes energy. Fear scatters attention. Fear makes you react instead of respond. This is the first lesson of letting go. When you let go of inner panic, your outer capability often improves. Now, the next misunderstanding. People ask, will everything be okay? As if okay means nothing painful will happen. As if okay means the relationship will never end. The job will never change. The body will never age. The plan will never fail. But life is change. If you define okay as no change, you are defining okay as impossible. Then you live in constant fear, because reality keeps proving your definition wrong. So a wiser definition is needed. Okay means you are aligned within yourself. Okay means you can face change without collapsing. Okay means you can experience pain without becoming bitterness. Okay means you can lose what you cannot keep and still keep your dignity. Okay means you can act with wisdom, not with desperation. This is not a small upgrade. This is the upgrade that changes destiny. Because destiny is not only what happens to you. Destiny is what you become in response to what happens. Now let us deepen the story. Because letting go becomes most difficult in relationships. Daniel is also troubled by a relationship. He loves someone, but the relationship is unstable. He keeps trying to fix it. He keeps over-explaining. He keeps chasing closeness. He keeps bargaining with his own boundaries. He tells himself if he just tries harder, it will work. He hears the advice, let go. But he panics. If he lets go, will he lose them? If he lets go, will they forget him? If he lets go, will he regret it? This is where we need to be very precise. Letting go in relationships does not mean you stop loving. It means you stop clinging. Clinging says, I need you to behave a certain way for me to be okay. Clinging says, I must control your feelings. Clinging says, I must fix you. Clinging says, I must keep you even if I lose myself. Letting go says, I can love you and still respect reality. Letting go says, I can care and still hold boundaries. Letting go says, I can give my best and still accept that I cannot control you. Letting go says, I will not abandon myself to avoid loss. This is where karma becomes practical again. Because what you cling to, you suffer through. And what you cling to, you also distort. When you cling to a person, you start manipulating without meaning to. You start pressuring. You start demanding reassurance. You start monitoring. You start testing. You start interpreting everything. Then the relationship becomes heavy. So letting go is often the only way a relationship can breathe. Daniel tries this. He stops sending 10 messages when the other person is quiet. He stops chasing immediate reassurance. He tells the truth once, calmly. He sets a clear boundary. He says, I want a relationship with consistent communication and mutual respect. I am here for that. I am not here for confusion. Then he steps back, not to punish, not to manipulate, to stop feeding the loop. At first Daniel feels withdrawal. The nervous system screams. The mind bargains. The ego panics. This is normal, because clinging is a habit, and habits resist change. But then something else happens. Daniel starts sleeping better. His body relaxes. He feels his own life returning. He begins to realize that much of his suffering was not caused by the other person alone. It was caused by his own inner grip on the outcome. This is the second lesson of letting go. Letting go does not remove the problem instantly. It removes unnecessary suffering, so you can see the problem clearly and act wisely. Now let us talk about letting go of thoughts. Because for many people the real prison is mental. Daniel has a mind that replays. He replays past mistakes. He replays conversation. He replays insults. He replays regrets. He replays what-if scenarios. He thinks if he keeps replaying, he will find the perfect answer. He will find closure. He will find control. But the replay never ends. It only deepens the groove. So, Daniel learns another practice. When a thought appears, he does not fight it. He does not argue with it. He does not follow it. He notices it, names it, and returns to the present. He says silently, memory, or fear, or planning. Then he returns to breath, or to the sensation of his feet, or to the sounds around him. This is not denial. This is training, because the mind is like a muscle. What you repeatedly attend to becomes stronger. If you repeatedly attend to resentment, resentment becomes your default home. If you repeatedly attend to fear, fear becomes your identity. If you repeatedly attend to presence, presence becomes your stability. This is where spiritual practice becomes daily survival. Now, people often ask, if I let go, will I become careless? This fear is common. But notice the confusion. They believe tension equals care. Care does not require tension. Care requires sincerity. Responsibility does not require anxiety. Responsibility requires clarity and action. Love does not require clinging. Love requires presence and respect. So when you let go of inner tension, you do not become careless. You become less distracted, less reactive, and more capable. Daniel notices this in work too. When he is tense, he makes mistakes. When he relaxes, he focuses. When he is anxious, he procrastinates. When he is calm. So letting go becomes not a spiritual luxury, but a practical skill. Now let us go deeper into the biggest obstacle: fear of uncertainty. Most clinging is fear of uncertainty wearing a mask. The mind says, if I do not control this, I do not know what will happen. And if I do not know, I am unsafe. So the mind creates control rituals, checking messages, stalking profiles, rehearsing arguments, micromanaging, over-planning, overworking, over-explaining. These rituals are attempts to reduce uncertainty, but they often increase suffering because they keep the nervous system in a constant state of alert. Letting go means you stop performing control rituals that do not actually help, and you learn to tolerate uncertainty with dignity. This is a huge spiritual milestone, because life is uncertain. Even the next breath is not guaranteed. So if you cannot tolerate uncertainty, you cannot be at peace. But tolerating uncertainty does not mean doing nothing. It means you do what you can, and you stop torturing yourself about what you cannot. This is sometimes described as act fully. Release the outcome, not as a slogan, as a way of living. Daniel begins practicing this with a simple daily vow. I will do my best today. I will not demand certainty from life. When fear rises, he repeats it. Now, there is a subtle danger in letting go talk. Some people use letting go to avoid accountability. They say, I let go, so I do not need to apologize. They say, I let go, so I do not need to address problems. They say, I let go, so I do not need boundaries. That is not letting go. That is avoidance. Real letting go makes you more honest, not less, because when you are not clinging to image, you can admit mistakes. When you are not clinging to being right, you can listen. When you are not clinging to control, you can repair. So Daniel becomes more accountable. He says sorry when he is wrong. He stops defending ego. He starts choosing truth. This is an important link to wisdom and karma. Honesty cleans karma. Deception complicates karma. When you lie to yourself, you act blindly. Then consequences multiply. When you tell yourself the truth, you act wisely. Then consequences become cleaner. So letting go includes letting go of self-deception. Now let us talk about the phrase, will everything be okay, in the deepest sense. Okay does not mean you will always get what you want. Okay means you will not lose yourself. Okay means your inner dignity is stable. Okay means you can face loss without becoming hatred. Okay means you can face failure without becoming shame. Okay means you can face change without becoming panic. Okay means you can be present. This is the highest form of safety. Because it is inside you, not dependent on the world behaving perfectly. Now, many people want proof. They want a guarantee. They want someone to say yes. If you let go, life will reward you. But a guarantee would keep you asleep. Because then you would only let go as a transaction. You would let go to get something. That is still clinging. The real letting go is free of bargaining. It says, I choose peace because peace is wise. I choose clarity because clarity is true. I choose compassion because compassion is clean. I choose right action because right action is my path. Then whatever happened, you remain aligned. This is a mature spiritual life. Now let us take a practical scenario that many viewers face. You are waiting for an answer. A college decision, a job offer, a relationship message, a reply from someone important. Your mind becomes a machine. You refresh email. You check the phone. You imagine rejection. You imagine acceptance. You imagine humiliation. You imagine future happiness. Your mood swings all day. This is not living. This is waiting. Letting go does not mean you stop caring about the outcome. It means you stop letting the outcome control your nervous system. So you do something else. You study. You work. You exercise. You talk to friends. You create. You help someone. You sleep. You act as if your life matters now, not only after the answer comes. This is how you break the spell. Because the spell is the belief that your life starts after the outcome. Letting go says, my life is now. Now let us bring in compassion. Because letting go is often misunderstood as emotional coldness. Some people fear letting go because they think it will make them less loving. But the truth is, clinging is not love. Clinging is fear. Love without clinging is actually warmer. Because when you are not afraid of losing, you can be present. When you are not demanding reassurance, you can listen. When you are not controlling, you can respect. When you are not gripping, you can give freely. So letting go does not reduce love. It purifies love. Now, let us talk about suffering and how letting go changes it. Suffering often has 3 layers. The first layer is pain, which is natural. The second layer is resistance. The mind saying this should not be happening. The third layer is identity. The mind saying this means something about who I am. Letting go removes resistance and identity. You still feel pain, but pain moves through you like weather, not like a permanent prison. Daniel experiences this when he loses something important. A project fails. A relationship ends. A plan collapses. Old Daniel would collapse into shame and rumination. New Daniel still feels grief, but he does not add a story that he is worthless. He says, this hurts. He breathes. He cries if needed. He talks to someone supportive. He rests. Then he asks, what is the next right action? This is not pretending. This is maturity. Now, sometimes letting go also reveals a surprising truth. You were holding on to something that was harming you. You were holding on to a relationship that required you to shrink. You were holding on to a job that drained your soul. You were holding on to an image that kept you anxious. You were holding on to being right. You were holding on to control. When you let go, you do not lose yourself. You find yourself. This is why letting go can feel scary at first, but freeing later. Now let us return to Danielle's question. If I let go, will everything be okay? The most honest answer is this. If you let go of your inner grip, you will be okay even if everything does not go the way you plan. And that is a deeper okay than any guarantee. Because if your okay depends on outcomes, you will always be anxious. If your okay depends on inner stability, you can face anything. Now, let us bring it into a simple daily practice you can live without needing special knowledge. When you feel troubled, ask yourself, what is in my control right now? Then do that. Then ask, what is not in my control? Then release your grip on that. Not by forcing yourself, but by returning to the present. Breath, feet, sound, task, kindness. This is how letting go becomes real. Now, I want to share a closing reflection that connects everything back to destiny, because that is what many people are truly asking. They are asking, if I let go, will my life become better? Sometimes yes in outer ways, sometimes no in immediate ways, but always yes in the most important way. Your inner life becomes better, and your inner life shapes your outer life over time through cleaner choices. When you let go, you stop making desperate decisions. You stop chasing people who cannot meet you. You stop staying in fog. You stop sacrificing dignity. You stop reacting blindly. You become more present. You become more patient. You become more compassionate. You become more wise. That changes your karma. And when karma changes, destiny changes. So the real answer is not a promise that life will never hurt you. The real answer is an invitation. Let go of the grip that is hurting you more than the problem. Keep your responsibility. Keep your sincerity. Keep your compassion. Drop the inner struggle. Then whatever life brings, you will meet it with a steadier heart. Thank you for coming back to the channel. Now I want you to share your experience in the comments. What is the hardest thing for you to let go of right now? And what do you fear will happen if you do? And what is one small step you can take today to act wisely without gripping the outcome? Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment to support this community. And if you want to support long conversations like this, you can join as a member. I will see you in the next one.